I wanna see the light.
From Keemstar, Airwax is on the top 10 as well.
Well, here we go, gentlemen. I mean, you can see Game 3 is underway. Baller, I cut you off for just a second there, but this is because it's all you from here, buddy. Stress and Baller, round number 3 underway. Take it away.
So, here we go. Dropping into round number 3. Everybody's thanked the driver, and we are riding on with Liquid Poach. Dropping in for Game 3 of the ESL Katowice Royale. He's heading for that east side of the volcano for now.
He's been dropping towards that sunny steps, trying to win that drop, trying to make so nobody wants to contest him anymore, but also grabbing those early elims. It's one of the best spots out of Season 8 that's come in this northeast side.
A lot of us on the broadcast team, we've been kind of dropping as many different of the new locations as we can, figure out exactly where some of those high value pockets of chests spawn, and certainly over the steps there are some areas that are better than others, but all around the map we're going to take a look at some of our high ticket players that we're keeping a track of. Llama is here in the Polish tournament area. Aspect now taking on Issa in the bottom floor of this now pirate house. As Aspect drops to 1 health, survives! Whoa!
4 builds left. You can still survive a little bit. He does have those bandages, so he's going to be able to try to pop them, but Issa also popping his minis as well. I don't know, Aspect is so close here.
Oh, peeks through the door. Does get the rotation on that ramp piece, and look, Issa's going to try and go up to that first floor. Now up to the second, going to try and drop through the top here. I did see Dynamite in the inventory of Aspect, so it does have to be careful that that doesn't just get planted beneath him, but Aspect is just trying to bandage up.
Yeah, and the edits were so good to get out of there. He does have, holding that edit, making sure Issa's not going to push down, but got to be careful of all the windows around.
Importantly, in the action feed, Aiden just fell, now trying to go the hard way through the floor, trying to replace as much so that Issa can own this entire building, trying to just find any angle. There's that Dynamite we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that for Aspect. He doesn't want to blow open any more holes for Issa to be able to find him again. Doesn't get the pump.
Connects with that first shot as Issa now, a lot of his health has been evened up, trying to find a moment just to get those mini shield potions.
He's really opening it up here for him to find Issa, and he's out of mats now, so there's 9 builds left for Aspect, and he's kind of gotten back into his fight. He's clawed his way back in here, Stress.
Clawed his way back in, but he still needs to be able to find the angle. Aspect trying to bandage up around the corner. Oh, Issa looks for the shot, doesn't quite get it, as Aspect does end up falling in the end. A long fight around this house, but Issa comes out alive.
Over towards Retail Row again.
Dynamite is ticking on that fuse for now. Vilex gets kind of boxed in on the top, but now trying to look for any kind of way through onto Nikov, another one of the Solary players that we spoke about, that French-speaking community minigun we saw rampant last week in the Polish tournament. A little bit of use here from Vilex, but he can't quite get down to the bottom floor here.
Trying to get in the box as many as possible. He's going to try to take that roof piece. A little bit of time for Nikov to breathe here. We'll see how many materials he has. I did see a few elims, so he should have a few, but there's the edit. Almost gets it. Oh, he gets down the box!
In with the shotgun, and that is Svenos taking out Airwax in the kill feed. It was Nikov, ended up getting it. A lot of pressure put onto Nikov from the side.
Crazy Llama, the Japanese player we saw stalking somebody else in Retail Row earlier, and he's coming in with the grenade launcher, gets 1 tag, 100 damage onto Nikov. He's going to be able to heal up with the minis though, but still, Crazy Llama, here he comes.
Yeah, trying to get through that top floor, tries to get the edit, doesn't quite get it in the way he wants to. Trying to find any different position for this fight, and you can see the vultures circling on the top side of the minimap just before we swapped to this wide angle on the fight. Crazy Llama is in such a good position health-wise.
I think that was his last grenade, but there's no more materials here for Nikov.
Window comes out, and look, Crazy Llama trying to readjust with these ramp pieces, but he's taking shots from behind as well. Crazy Llama switches around and ends up losing the engage to Nikov.
Nikov is on a tear here in Retail Row. That's 2 in a row we saw, and I think he already had an alien before that, but hopefully he picks up some materials there from Crazy Llama because the third party is coming in. But here we go, Mitro against Zate. This is such an important battle for Loot Lake.
Yeah, Mitro, a name that we caught a glimpse of earlier, but didn't really see anything in Game 2 from. One of those names that people expect a lot from. He's got moves named after him.
Yeah.
He does his 90s in a specific way. People say Mitro is one of those players to watch out for, but 0 eliminations on the board for now.
Yeah, one of the most winningest players in EU. We actually see Beehive is also setting up nearby. I think Zate decides he wants to back off from Mitro. Zate is up ahead in the standings for Mitro. I think Mitro is in around 68th position. Zate around 30-something.
Tixi now taking on Poverty. Poverty, a player in the Polish portion of the tournament that didn't really live up to a lot of the expectations that people had put on him. Ended really quite low down, especially, if I remember rightly, on the solos portion. But in Tixi trying to just get any kind of sight he can. But there's a third party, as that was Zeke taking out Tixi from the side.
Those are
Season 8 has brought on. We've got a lot of people up towards that northeast area. Obviously, the Stormwing was vaulted for Season 8. We also have had a removal of a lot of rifts.
was one where all the engagements were happening, and there was nothing really to turtle up on because there's so many cracks in the wall. But here's a replay here. Bowman onto Kinzel, just opening that window. I think he was stuck in the football net, as you would say there.
Yeah, stuck in the net, but got a lot more than just net at that point. As Nikov, we saw some of his engagements to start off. This was the drop in that Nikov ended up picking up that elimination from. As a second challenger approached. Great player in his own mind. I'm excited to see him playing up against some of the world's best as well as history. He's gatekeeping this storm. Doesn't quite connect with the first one, but that is a lot of shots that connect in the end. Is trying to hunt down this elimination for himself, and he does.
Teammate on teammate again. And that's interesting there.
Keenstar manages just to jump onto that launch pad as Nate doesn't quite manage to get there in time. Nikov running and tracking through the bottom of this. Now everybody lands on one.
So this is what I was talking about. Zeke landing towards that hill here. Imagine also doing the same thing. A lot of players deciding to land inside over towards that hill, because if it does go that way, you're just going to be able to build up so easily. Here, Animal on high ground. He's taking shots at players flying in.
He's just trying to get anything. Hits some shields, gets anything he can. Importantly, I believe Jesse from the X2 Twins was still alive, and Jordan I just saw as well. So this time they are lasting a little bit later. We're into the points now on placements. There's 42 players remain. We crossed that 50-player barrier. That now means everybody will at least have scored points.
Jamside taking out Boyer in the Elam feed there. Nice. And we'll see Jamside, one of our top players as well. There's so many of these consistent players up still. Shinken, Vinny, Zate, Jesse, Australia showing up strong in this game.
You said Vinny, he's a player that recently having a surge, and in this tournament so far has performed very well as well. So we saw him just last week, or just this week, signing to TSM. So it's just such a big, massive names right now in this final set of zones.
Skyte's still up as well there. You can see him taking some shots. And there, all the clinger spam, everybody's just trying to get any shots they can on people. They never know how low players are going to be, so it's always valuable to take shots. Obviously, you're opening yourself up to a little bit of a risk when you do it, and it is going to go north into zone, but hold on.
Jordan just picked off Camo in that action feed. Vivid trying to track across the top of this one, and here they go. As the storm moves, so does everybody with it, and this is where so many eliminations start happening, and they are so key. As Animal picks up one for himself, Zeke is able to get away from that tricky situation, stuck on 3 eliminations for himself, and now we're in tight corners.
Animal, one of the best endgame players at this pathing, exactly what you see him doing right now, but Razaru again on high ground. He's taking it, and I think he has it. So, Mitro up. Vinny up.
Jules trying to track up. Let's see that he doesn't go too high and die to fall damage like he did in game number 2. Poverty trying to track up as well against Raspberry. Poverty actually has stolen the high ground away, but on the low ground is where most of the action is. Jesse trying to make his way. Hoopek on such low health, and we can see Funk Bomb right at the bottom. Poverty drops down, takes a massive shotgun shell from Razaru. Poverty's gonna drop. That's it. Poverty's out from that high engage, and Razaru is the only player stuck at the top of the screen.
This was the issue last time for Razaru. He had high ground, but he got it stolen from him, and this time he didn't. He keeps to hold it.
26 builds left, so he has enough to stay in the zone for now, but he's going to need some of them from further eliminations. 0 eliminations in this game, and opting mainly for placement points as we continue. 15 builds as he puts a new ceiling on the house.
72 Hours just got 2 Elams in the zone. He's so close. I think he just got another one down on low ground as well.
He's in the storm, though, ends up falling to it as Mitro tries to get the high ground. Massive damage comes through as Mitro checks above him just to make sure there's no rifts. Nobody circling the skies.
Yeah, 7 players left. Mitro on high ground. This is exactly where he sells. He has the RPG, but he's no ammo. So we'll see what he's able to do from high ground. Animal's still up as well. Nikov. So many big names in this endgame. Here's Animal. He goes down to Vato.
Vato, really big pickoff from the low ground there.
Oh, actually, somebody took high ground. Who is that? Mitro. No, it's still Mitro. I forgot about him up on high. How could I forget about Mitro? 6 players left.
That's when you end up eliminated by Mitro. Is when you forget about him and he's in a building with a trap. But at this point, Mitro still has that high ground. Jules is up there with him. If Mitro can win this exchange, that puts him in such a good position. But low ammo, 9 shells left.
All he has is shotgun shells and builds. That's all he can do. But it's actually going to go over old builds, so he's going to be able to drop down pretty safely and conserve a lot of materials. But that rift is up in the sky. We got to see. Okay, nobody diving on him. That's a sigh of relief for him.
Sigh of relief, but it also means he's going to have to build back down. Majin has had a great game so far. I've seen his name constantly in the action feed. Those eliminations have been ticking up.
Stuck in zone, though. That's going to be it for him. He goes down the zone. 5 players left. Okay, now 3. 2 elims at the same time.
That's how quick this goes in these late games. When you just get any kind of sight on an opponent, you can get that pickoff, get that elimination.
All these old builds, so important for Mitro. He's low on materials. He's just using these. It's going all over, but now it's going to be the end. And you can see Jules trapping down. If Mitro dropped on him, that would have been really nice.
Just hiding a trap anywhere at this point if you can end up dropping them through.
This is an issue here for Mitro. He does not have the materials to fight Jules here. He needs to possibly keep away. Fat Toe has the advantage, I think, going all the way down to low ground, but Jules actually dropping down. He decides, yes, I want to do this. So Mitro actually back to the advantage.
Ooh, Mitro gonna have to build his way down the stairs as Vato does end up losing to Jules. It's a 1 versus 1. Mitro is nearly on the low ground, but now the shotgun maybe comes into effect. He really only needs 1 shot to connect to pick up this game for himself, and with the high ground, he's just trying to find any kind of position that he can.
It's only a green though, and that shot was so close from Jules. 80 there.
Oh, Jules takes it. Jules steals away the game from Mitro with 6 eliminations to his name and the victory royale.